Okay, YouTube, if you're here for the how-to video, I want to say and disclaim that I am not a pro, so follow this advice loosely. This is just a quick at-home how-to. This probably cost me, I think, 40 bucks to do this. So I am not Pimp My Ride. If you want a Pimp My Ride kind of thing, you should click off this video because this is not the video for you. All right, let's roll. So I 60 grit everything here. Did a little bit of 100 grit afterwards and then realized, well, it's kind of pointless because this is just going to see Bondo. Any area that I hit 60 grit with, though, I have to bring it up to about 400 or 800 in my opinion. Because if you leave it there and don't, even if you prime over this, if you don't have a really high build primer, you're going to see these swirlies from the DA on your primer. And then once you throw your base and then your final, you're definitely going to see that in the paint. I've had it happen multiple times before. So let's throw some Bondo on here and I'll go from there. Like the 7 or 8 that are probably watching this video have turned it off by now going, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And so it may look like that, and you're probably right. I'm always open to constructive criticism, but here I have basically my first coat of Bondo, and it's just a big ball of it, and it's not totally level. There's still a dip right here, but I obviously ran out of Bondo. So I'm gonna let this harden up. Probably sand it. I'm gonna sand it smooth, guide coat it, sand whatever I can smooth, and then I'm gonna have to add some more. But this is just a base, so it looks like crap. There's pits in it, whatever. The point is to get this basically built outwards, and I absolutely hate doing this. I have the small Bondo. I don't use Bondo a lot. This is the first time I've really ever filled in a dent with Bondo. I try to pull them out or just replace the panel, but this time, I don't want to replace the panel right now. Like I said, I already explained it. So after this settles and hardens, I'm actually going to spray. This is a spot that I think a lot of people get stuck at or might not know, but when you Bondo something, this stuff is porous. If you spray water on it, it holds it. So there's bare metal underneath. I missed a little bit there. There's bare metal underneath this. So as soon as this thing sees any humidity, moisture, dew, anything like morning dew, settles on it, it just soaks it in, goes right to the rust, and then you're cooked. You're done. You're just right back where you started. You're replacing the panel. Instead of doing that, if you don't have a shop to store it in, I'm still going to do it even if I have a place to store this. Spray right over this thing with just something you can just sand right back off when you're done, because it keeps it, it seals it until you're ready to work again. That seems really backwards, but I probably won't be able to come back to this for maybe a day or two. So I'm going to spray this with some spray paint, something to just seal it, and then I'll come back to it. I gotta tape off right here because I wasn't supposed to go above that line. Paint's cracked here, so I'll probably paint up to the top here, just under the top. But anyway, I'm getting carried away. So once again, I'm gonna spray paint this, and then the video will pick up of me sanding this down smooth. I'll have more Bondo. I'll have to slap some Bondo or guide coat it, slap some Bondo, and just, you know, do the building from there. So I kind of skipped ahead. As you can see, I sanded down the main, like the crap that I put on top of this, got all the mountains off it, and now I have actually blocked it. And so you can see the high spots. This has got to be the outside of the dent, because honestly I think these are higher than the body. So this just really needs to be cut and replaced, because this is pulled out from the dent. When the dent went in, it creased this here, and it's much higher than the normal metal. So we're just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to take a hammer and try to get this, you know, tap it in and whatnot. But so I'm going to add some filler here. You can see, because obviously this is the filler. I use just some cheap spray paint. Sometimes it gums up, and that's the hard part. You can see it right here on the bag. That's the paint from the sandpaper. It gets gummy and then ruins your sandpaper. But so I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend getting guide coat. But I just had black paint. I was out of guide coat. But you can tell, because the paint is barely touched by the sandpaper, as to where you need to add Bondo here. So I'm basically just gonna add a glaze over everything, but mainly focus on these points. Yeah. So this is basically fluid film mixed with this. I put this on first, then the undercoating, and it kind of turns into like a tar substance, so it never really dries, and that's what's actually great about it, because it sticks to this really well, but it never dries. So it basically becomes very hydrophobic, and water cannot bond to it, meaning that it really can't get to this metal. So I've done it on the whole frame, and it's lasted very long. But this is with a bumper mount, so I'm going to do it before I put the bumper back on. And then, you know, I won't have to worry about this getting completely deleted on over years. Here's the after result. It's basically tar, especially when it dries. So it remains looking exactly like this too. If you run your finger over it now, it's obviously going to come off on it, but run your finger over it in about a week and it's kind of just there, it's stuck. So, you know, you could pour 15 it or do a bunch of other stuff, and that works great. But I'm cheap and, you know, like to do it in a timely manner, because I do drive the truck a lot. I'm sure you saw I whipped out the DA, but I put a lot on there, and I think this should be really it. There are some high spots that are, there's actually one right here, a low spot, big low spot. There's one over here, but once again, I'm just not going to worry about it. I know this seems a little half-assed, but I'm going to end up redoing this, so I really don't need it to be completely perfect. And if you look down the side of it and see it, that's fine. But, you know, from 20 feet, if you don't see like a wave, I'm happy. So I'm going to let this dry up, which I put a lot of hardener in it, so it'll dry quick, and then I'm going to knock it down again. This I should only need the block for, and then I should be good to spray it. And as of right now, I think I'm just going to use this white enamel spray paint just for the time being. That's actually what I did my over fenders in, which is basically the same color as the truck. This is the same spray paint as what's I just showed you. So I mean, you can just tell by the orange peel that it's spray painted, but it came out pretty nice. Alrighty, so I've gotten it pretty dang smooth. I mean, when you run your hand over it, there are some bumps, especially right here where the metal is. Right here is unbelievable. I mean, it's matched pretty well, I'd say. The high spots are really where the metal is, obviously. It's just smooth enough for me, and if I want to come back and do it, I'll have time to, but I'm legitimately just going to paint this right now. So right now I've got some 400 I'm going to hit it with, just to rough it or smooth out anything that isn't. Up to 400. What I was using was 320 on the blocks. So 400 will bring it up and get some of this other stuff off here. And then hit it with some thinner, tape off some stuff, and just make sure it doesn't get horribly oversprayed. All right. Oops. Other than that, though, it's definitely better than before. It's really not the greatest, but you can tell I have done it. But I'm obviously going to do another coat of paint, maybe two, but for now, this is fine. I'm happy with it. I'm extremely happy with it, actually. We'll see when we get this off. Here we are. A really quick dent removal. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm happy with that for costing me 20 bucks. And the paint really, I mean, okay. Let's get the sun in here, see if you can see some waves. Yeah, yep, you can. Especially right there, look at that one. Don't even know what that is. Probably some pits or something. This part I didn't even do. Maybe it's just the paint. No, there's a lot of waves. It's definitely Bondo not being perfect, but for the most part, I mean, if you're going down the road, ain't nobody gonna notice. Take it to a car show, maybe. Yeah, there it is. See? Yeah. Not perfect, but hey, I'll take it. Alrighty, well, I think that ends it off for this video. I'm gonna get it back together, and then in the next video I'm going to do this part white, but I'm gonna actually do this very nicely. I'm gonna prep this, and then I have this paint code for my gun I'm actually gonna use. And I have just a little bit left. I should be able to do this. I might prime it. Well, I'm gonna prime it in white because I have white primer, very thick primer from doing my Civic. And I'll do a video on painting that. I mean, this is the paint after it dries. You can see there's a little bit of a difference in the light. Almost none, but that's what that fender will look like. Oh, you can see it bad here. Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh my god. Oh, that's a dent. That's that metal piece. That's from the dent. That's the crease that I was talking about. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna stop looking at it before I start sanding it down again. All right, guys, see you next video.